to be honest, don't really know what I'm doing.
He was often a player that I would buy on Football Manager.
It's already a terrible reason.
From Jon Snow, Matt puts Dan's wardrobe to shame.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Look at him, the cat that got the cream.
Ian Taylor said it was the worst thing he'd ever seen in his life. Monk, really, I know he's manager. What kind of say is that?
Gary Monk, 5 out of 10.
I haven't finished yet. I cannot believe Gabriel Bonner-Horst.
That's crazy,
That's
isn't
terrible.
it?
Yeah, we may well have lost listeners early doors again with a long-winded intro. Go, shoot. Hello, welcome to the Villa View podcast with Thomas Julian on my right and me, myself, Dan Bardell. That was a very strange introduction. I hope I don't ever do that again. Are you okay, Thomas?
I'm okay, thank you. You've gone back to Thomas. It was normal for a bit, but
signed you in as Tommy today. I don't know whether you noticed. You were signed in as Thomas.
Just walked in today.
Okay, just walked in. Lax security.
Yeah, worrying, very worrying.
Yeah. Just want to start on a bit of a sombre note. Obviously today Steve Bruce has lost his father, so everyone from the Villa View wants to send their condolences to Steve and the family in this tough time. At times like this, football isn't really important, but we do hope that the Villa fans can get around Steve, support him and his family, and we hopefully football will actually galvanise Steve a little bit and maybe help him forget his troubles. We hope he can use it to let loose and try and get through this horrible time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, condolences, rest in peace.
Nothing you can really say other than love to all the family, and hopefully, there's nothing else to say, is there? Really?
Hopefully he takes the time that he needs, because as I say, there's a lot of things that are more important than football. As much as we all love football, family comes first. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, in you go. You've got your list, you've got your notes.
I've got a lot
in
of
front of you. 6 pages of notes. Tom's come in and told me that he has.
I like to prepare, and last week you gave me some criticism for missing out. I
didn't like the structure last week. I must say.
Like it?
Not that I didn't like it. I just felt stuff got missed out, and then I wanted to have a look at the questions at the end. And you were almost a bit. Oh well, I've got my notes here, so you shouldn't need to go through the Twitter questions.
Why don't you look at the Twitter questions before we get on air? Because otherwise you're just doing this and nobody cares.
It's not my style. It's not how I do things.
Have you looked at the Twitter questions yet?
I have, but I've not wrote anything down. I'll just go through them again in the way that annoys you.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're in here as well, so it's going to be a mess tonight, isn't it?
Good stuff. It's always a mess, but it seems to have not done us too much harm so far.
Tell you one place that isn't a mess. Villa Park.
I did wonder what you were going to say. You looked like you were about to praise yourself. You were like, Jesus Christ, I'll tell you what's not a mess. I thought you were going to say, my jumper or something like that.
I mean, I'm not Jesus Christ, but
it's a snazzy jumper.
I'm not a mess either, thank you.
No worries.
It's one of my faves. 6 wins on the bounce for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Beat the Brewers 3-2 at Villa Park on Saturday afternoon. You were there. How did you enjoy the game?
I always enjoy it when we win. To be fair, I always enjoy going to Villa Park nowadays. Anyway, it's a much happier place than it was. Obviously, I've got my own stuff going on there as well. But I think we made difficult work of the game. We made it harder than we should have done, and a couple of lapses made sure that we conceded 2 goals, and the game was a lot closer than it perhaps should have been. Fair play to Burton. A bit like last year, although they weren't as effective as last year going forward. I didn't think they made a good fist of it. You wouldn't know they were bottom of the league. They came over and played with no fear, really, treated the game a bit like a cup final, as I expected they would. But I think we were always playing in second gear. We were always comfortable. I even think if Burton had got level at some point during the game, we'd have just ran up the other end and scored, to be honest. But conserving our energy a bit for the big one next week. But we played some really, really nice football at times. Obviously, you can see with the first goal, that's one of the best moves I've seen down Villa Park for a number of years. All our creative players involved in that move. And it was a really, really lovely goal. Good to see Hogan on the score sheet again. And yeah, good win. Scored 3 goals. Grealish off the mark. Nice team goal. Adoma's back on the score sheet. All looks good going into next week. Yeah,
I want to bring it back to Hogan's goal. If he'd missed that, then his confidence would have got back to last season.
I think I'd have tucked that one away, but they all count. And it's 5 in 5 for him now, which he could only have dreamt of a few months ago.
Yeah, and you mentioned the fact that was an absolute team goal. I mean, it started with Bjarnason bringing the ball up, and then Snodgrass with that incisive pass, but he's doing little 1-2s with Hurahan, with Grealish. He's bringing everybody into the game, and it was so nice to see, wasn't it? It's just unbelievable football, the best football in the Championship right now.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that at the moment, but I think it comes down to the system, and that we found a system that gets the best out of our creative players, and the players that I think are the game changers, your Hourahans, your Grealishes, your Snodgrasses. They're capable of doing something, creating something. From nothing. And that pass from Snodgrass was just. If Kevin De Bruyne had done that in the Premier League, everyone would be waxing lyrical about it. Because we're Villa in the Championship, it doesn't get as much praise. But we did play some nice stuff. At times there was a nice little move between Onoma and Grealish when Onoma came on as well, that Grealish got booked for diving, which I'm not sure what the referee was watching, because that was as blatant penalty as I've seen, although I couldn't see it at the time because it was the whole thing, I wasn't sure. But you could tell by the reaction of all the players that they just thought, what is this referee on? Yeah,
I wanted to talk to you about that, because I mean I've watched it a few times and it's as blatant penalty as you'll see. And I mean Grealish goes over. I mean he knows what's going to happen. He's read the game and he's just knocked it past. It's like a chess move. He's playing 2 or 3 moves ahead.
Yeah.
And he's just knocked it past him. Defender stuck his leg out and that's it. It's 100% penalty, and the referee turns around and books the lad.
Yeah, I think was it 2-1 at the time.
Yeah.
As well, as that would have given us a chance to make it.
Or was it 2-0?
May have been 2-0 actually, but it would have given. I mean, goals change games whenever they're scored, but it maybe would have made us a little bit more comfortable. It probably would have. I mean, Adoma was off the pitch at the time as well, so it would have probably been a chance for Hogan to score another goal. Although I think at the time Grealish hadn't scored, so he may have wanted to have taken it himself to get himself off the mark for the season. But he got his reward with the volley. Good finish.
What a finish!
On the volley as well.
That's a hard. I mean, I feel like that situation comes up a reasonable amount in 5-a-side, and you end up just spinning the ball because you can't take it. The way he watched it and just sent the keeper the wrong way, absolutely no chance. Beautiful goal.
I mean, I said I would have scored Scott Hogan's. I don't think I'd have scored that Grealish chance. And you're better at football than me, but I don't think you'd have scored it either.
I absolutely know that I wouldn't have.
No.
There's no doubt about that.
But it's good to get him off the mark, because I think he'll go on a run now of goals like Snodgrass has, like Hogan has. I think he'll start to find the net on a more regular basis now.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you've said that it's been coming for a while here at the bar as well, didn't he?
Oh, mate, he's having shots every game now. That was what I wanted him to do, get more shots away, because he's a talented lad.
Yeah.
And he's got a good shot on him. I mean, his shot off the bar was a lovely effort. And he's come close pretty much every game, the last 4 or 5.
Yeah, last week it whistled past the post, didn't it, which was unlucky. And I found it funny, because I can't remember if it was last week or the last time we were together. You said El Mohammadi brings in 1 cross a game, and that was his one, wasn't it, for Grealish's goal? And
I mean, he had a bad day at the office.
Oh, that goal, own goal.
I mean, we'll come on to the own goal, but he actually had a torrid time up against Lloyd Dyer on the left wing.
Yeah.
I did notice your notes there saying Aikens played well on the left wing, but it was Dyer that was playing.
Who's Aikens
on the left
then?
wing.
Where was
I think
Aikens?
he does play for them. I think he was up front.
Okay, well, I saw him early doors, and he was running them ragged on the left.
I don't remember him being too much involved in the game, but Lloyd Dyer caused us problems last season at Villa Park. He scored against us at Burton last season, and he run Al Mohammadi ragged.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game where you realise actually Al Mohammadi probably isn't a right back. He's more of he's an actual wing back.
Yeah.
He's not an orthodox full back. He was given a tough time, so much so that Twanzebe came on and we reorganised a little bit. I think Snodgrass had a knock and Bruce was trying to solid up that right hand side of ours a little bit. I mean, it didn't really work because we conceded 2. But yeah, Lloyd Dyer had a really good game for Burton. Do
you think we switched off a little bit? Like certainly with the second Burton goal right at the end of the game, there Hutton kind of just loses track of his man. I don't know if he thinks that it's Terry's man to kind of cover at that point, but he just lets him run off, and it's as simple as goal as you'll finish. Well, not as simple as Hogan's, but fairly simple to finish that one.
It's just it's a lapse of judgment and concentration. I mean, I think there was a man on the other side of Hutton who he possibly had his eye on.
Right.
Terry's misjudged the flight of the ball a little bit and has maybe expected Hutton to get round on the cover, and he hasn't because of that man that I just mentioned, and it's just communication. And it is. We probably thought the game was won at that stage, 3-1 in stoppage time. We've brought Jedinak on to try and protect things a little bit. We've got Twanzebe playing at right back, so we had gone a bit more defensive to try and see the game out. But yeah, Burton had a couple of chances, to be fair. I mean, Sam Johnson for the first goal, for the own goal, made a really good save, actually. But we gave away the corner because Chester headed the ball behind when he thinks Johnson should have given him a shout that he could have left it.
Yeah,
it's just those little lapses that can sometimes cost you, and they have cost us goals and cost us goal difference, but they haven't cost us the game.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Well, you talk about goal difference for a second. I'm going to go on to that, but I do want to talk about El Mohammadi's own goal, because that was...
Now, that's the kind of thing you'll see me doing on a football pitch.
It was spectacular, wasn't it? I mean, you could see the reactions of all the players, Burton and Villa players, who were just like, What on earth just went on there? Like, it made no
He
sense.
must have took a divot, hit a divot.
He just rocketed it.
I mean, I said to my dad at the time, it's probably not a fair reflection on what's happened. Why is he trying to put it out for a corner?
Yeah.
Just blast it out. Just put it out for a throw.
Yeah, send it out.
Just try and send it up the pitch. Don't hit it towards your goal.
I was trying to think, have you seen a worse own goal from Villa?
From Villa, Stephen Warnock scored a pretty special one against QPR under McLeish, header at the back post, expertly placed. It really was. It was one of those goals that, like, it was such a good finish that. So, I mean, there can be some strange people in the whole end, if I'm being honest. On occasion, there was genuinely people speculating that he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
At the time, which is utterly ridiculous. But yeah, it was a real striker's finish from Warnock at the back stick. I don't know whether it was worse. I mean, El Mohammadi was so close in and couldn't really get his feet sorted, and maybe it did take an unkind bounce. I think the Warnock one was worse.
You got the Enkelman
it was
one
just
as
such
well,
a good.
haven't you?
I mean, that shouldn't have counted. Let's face it, because he didn't touch the ball. Enkelman didn't touch the ball, so that
Didn't it touch his studs?
Nah, that should have been disallowed. That goal should never have stood.
Well,
it's changed the course of history.
Well, it certainly has. Yeah, but Villa, the third best performing team in Europe, I read today.
Who are the top two?
Bayern Munich and Juventus.
Well, we're in the right company. All European Cup winners.
Fulham also in the top six as well.
Yeah, they're gonna come up, aren't they? They're gonna get the playoffs, aren't they?
It's turning into an absolutely huge matchup, isn't it? Later this month.
Fulham did this last season. They were quite off it, not really in the playoff picture, and then they came from nowhere and actually ended the championship season as the form team in the league. And I think many people expected them to go on and get promoted. I think they were probably the favourites going into the playoffs, but they ended up losing to a pretty average Reading side, I think.
Yeah, they did.
In the semis, which was a surprise. So I expected that. I actually at the start of the season, I predicted that they would win the league. Fulham did also put Villa as second, which is looking like an okay prediction.
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm aware things can change.
Yeah, well,
very quickly.
While we're on Fulham, Dave Alford and Ian F. Both asked on Twitter, if you could only win one game, Birmingham City or Fulham this month, you're going to lose the other one. Which one do you take?
Have you got an answer?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Well, I'm going to go with Birmingham because you're going to lose one anyway, so you're going to drop points at some point. You might as well win the second City derby and hope that Fulham slip up somewhere along the line.
You want to win the Birmingham game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm torn. I think I'll go Birmingham on the basis that I don't see Fulham. I mean, you've got the league table there. How far are Fulham off us?
Fulham are in fifth on 51 points.
So that would take them to 2 points off us.
Yeah.
I've not got them down as automatic contenders in my head at the moment, and I have us down as automatic contenders. Mm-hmm. So I just don't want to lose to Birmingham.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean,
you're
getting 3 points regardless in that situation that we've been given.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That was my logic.
Yeah, okay. Well, but I'll say the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose to them at Villa Park.
No.
Never again.
So, looking at the table, Villa are still 1 point off Derby County, who beat Brentford 3-0 at the weekend. I kind of forgot where the camera was there. I looked up to go to there.
I can tell you, Tom, it's never changed. It's always been in the same place for the last 38 podcasts or however many.
Is that what we're on?
A guess.
Yeah, something like that.
34 odd a few weeks ago.
A big loss for Bristol City on the Friday night. They lost 1-0 to Bolton away from home.
I watched that.
And they dropped into sixth with Fulham's win. Same points as Fulham, and Cardiff obviously in fourth.
Preston
as well.
have come a bit from nowhere as well. They're sitting in seventh.
Yeah, they beat strugglers Hull. I feel like I'm doing the scores.
Yeah.
James Alexander-Gordon for a second.
Good knowledge of it. Is that the really posh announcer?
Yeah, he retired last year.
Oh, did they? They got someone in with a similar sounding voice.
I must admit, I couldn't tell you.
Didn't get that gig, did you? I'd have thought.
Not yet.
I'd have thought you'd have been up there.
I think I'm next in line.
Next in line?
Yeah.
You've got to put in the hard yards first with the Villa View.
Have I?
Yeah, you've got to do a bit more than you're doing.
More than one season of a podcast.
Yes.
There's another big game this Friday night as well. Millwall Cardiff, obviously important.
Well, that's a bit of a juicy one.
Yeah, it's going to be tasty. Millwall sitting around mid-table, but Cardiff, it's the old cliche. It's a tough place to go, but Cardiff have got to keep putting the pressure on Villa, and that would take them into third or up into second actually, with the other game still left to play.
They picked up a bit Cardiff, as well. They were on a little bit of a dirgy run, and they've picked up. Again, I still think they'll be the main contenders for second. Cardiff.
Yeah,
I think Warnock's a savvy guy, a savvy manager. I mean, he sends his teams out to hurt people. sometimes. I mean, you watch the Man City game and you think about some of the treatment Jack Grealish received against Cardiff last season. I mean, I'm not keen on him, Warnock, but he does a good job, and that team's kind of perfect for him, really. I think they'll be the closest to us, presuming we get second.
Well, Joshua Leong, NZ Villain.
I mean, he writes it enough. We should have got his name right by now. He's probably sending a question every week.
Josh Leong. Let me know where you are in New Zealand, Josh, because I'm coming over next month. Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few podcast issues that we'll come on to later on. But
yeah, the staffing issues. Josh asks, who will be around the playoffs if Villa and Wolves go up? I've got my 4 here. I've got Derby, Fulham, Cardiff and Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United are going to make a little burst. Anyone's that you fancy? I don't see Bristol City lasting. They're too inconsistent.
I agree with 3 of those: Derby, Fulham, and Cardiff.
I mean, 6 is up for grabs, isn't it?
I'm going to go with a outside shout of Leeds. Now they've hired Heckingbottom, because I think he's a good manager.
Okay.
I think he'll suit Leeds. I was reading up on that appointment earlier, and I saw one Leeds fan tweet that sometimes an appointment just feels right, like it's going to turn something for you. And he was saying this feels like the appointment that will turn it for us. I felt like that when we hired Lambert.
Right.
Obviously, I was wrong.
Yeah. I agree with you. I remember talking to you, I think, about it at the time.
I bet the Stoke fans didn't feel like that when they hired him.
No, it's not going well for them either. Have Leeds got a new badge yet? Have they? We never talked about this, did we?
Did we not talk about it?
I can't remember. I don't think so. It's absolutely atrocious.
They've got. They're not doing it anymore, either.
No.
But they're back in consultation, I think, for a new badge. I mean, they said they asked 10,000 people. Who did they ask?
I mean, I have worked with brand architecture companies and stuff like that in my current job, and they there's a point. They charge an absolute fortune for stuff like that. They will have stolen money off Leeds,
and it's garbage.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And they're not even going to use it. What a waste.
No. Someone's done well out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's got a lot of publicity. No publicity is bad publicity.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's terrible.
Because they said they'd ask a selection of fans and stuff, but every Leeds fan was like, no, I wouldn't have said yes to this. Like, so who did they actually ask?
Yeah, I don't know. The creators of Pro Evolution Soccer are the only people.
Yeah. Villa's tweet that they did, and that was absolute genius.
Yeah.
I've got to say, actually, Villa's social media team has been on absolute flames recently.
Yeah, no, it's doing well.
I sound like a 12-year-old boy, but
Absolute flames.
Absolute flames.
Yeah. Goes with the haircut, mate.
Yeah.
Gavin...
Nothing wrong with his haircut, and you're not in a position to judge haircuts.
No, it's true. Gavin Comtesse. That's some tough names to learn.
Really?
We weren't brilliant against Burton. Is the Blues game where the team gets back to form and have a run out to remember?
Well, you can't really say we're not on form, because obviously we've won 6 in 6. What did you read about that?
Weren't brilliant against Burton.
Is the Blues game
to be fair, gets back to form. Yeah, fair enough.
I think the players will be bang up for this one. I don't think they'll need any motivation. I don't think Steve Brisson did say anything to them. There's a real spirit about the camp at the moment. They want to do well. They're galvanised and want to get automatic promotion, and I think they probably see this as a chance to get the fans even further on side and cement themselves as real heroes. So I think the players, they're bang up for this one.
It's a big game, actually. Big weekend in the Championship. I was looking, Derby County and Norwich. Norwich are in a little bit of form as well. They've only lost 1 in 4. That'd be a big game.
Still 13th.
Middlesbrough, Reading, not so much.
Reading are in free fall.
Yeah, but I already mentioned Millwall and Cardiff. There's a few. I think there's Sheffield United, Leeds. That's going to be.
Sorry, I said Reading are in free fall, and then I've looked at your notes. They've won the last 2. Oh no, they haven't. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at Birmingham City. Reading have only won 1 in 5. Birmingham have picked up, which is very annoying.
Yeah.
I was thinking they were going to be coming to us on real bad form, and we were going to be on good form, and we were going to see another 5-1. I still think there's an off chance we might thump them, but I'm edging towards it's going to be like last year.
Do you think form matters in a derby game?
I think it helps. If you look back to the 5-1, we were absolutely flying at the time, and they were in relegation trouble. And from the moment that game kicked off, you could see that we meant business, and we were going to thump them, and we did. So I think form does matter.
But the way we're playing at the moment, it doesn't really matter what Birmingham do. Would you say that you fancy Villa against anybody right now? The way that they're moving, the first goal particularly, and even the third goal, the Grealish goal, we're tearing teams apart.
Yeah, I do fancy.
I mean, Burton were bottom of the league.
I do fancy us against most at the moment, but you can still look at a game and think it's going to be tough, because I'm looking at Fulham the week after and thinking that is really going to be a tough game. Alarm bells are ringing about that game. mainly because I'm going.
Yeah. Oh,
as well.
My mum said, actually, she said, do you want her to come along with you just because she seems to be a good luck charm?
I mean, I'll never say no to a date with your mum. Is anyone else coming? Is she coming on her own?
I can't go, so I kind of set myself up for that one.
You did?
Yeah.
If your mum wants to go on a date with me, it doesn't have to be to the football. We can go for a meal.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, we could do both. Maybe go to, what's that dancing thing that she likes?
What?
The one that Dolan likes as well.
Oh,
Northern Soul.
the all-nighter.
I'll take her to a Northern Soul jaunt afterwards as well.
I mean, you're not taking my mum on an all-nighter. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Right.
Apologies to Tom's dad if he's listening to the
podcast. And my mum a little bit.
She won't mind. She'll be flattered. She'll be blushing away in the corner listening to this.
I'm blushing. Villa on tour. How was that?
You hit on my mum at the start when the podcast started.
Your dad was trying to set me up with her.
Oh, you can't. You want rid of her.
And your sister.
Oh no, you don't want her. She's a pain.
Villa on tour asked, how was the atmosphere at Villa Park, and how could it be improved? What did you notice on Saturday?
I can't remember if I was speaking to my dad about this. I was speaking to someone about it, so it's probably my dad because we pretty much only talk about Villa. To be fair, when I feel like if we're losing or not doing as well as expected, the moaners start to come out a little bit, and a few of the boo boys can come out. Although it hasn't, obviously, because we've been winning, that hasn't been as apparent in recent times. But I do kind of get the feeling in the Burton games, the games we're winning, that you expect us to win. It is almost like we're expected to win, and there's a lack of atmosphere, or the atmosphere is not what it should be.
Yeah.
Sunday, the atmosphere will be absolutely fantastic. The fans will get behind the boys. It'll be loud and proud. Everyone will be singing all game, and hopefully we'll all be dancing in the streets again come the end of the game. But the Burton game, like, you're winning, people, I mean, I'm never going to have a go at people for leaving a football match early. Everyone's got different circumstances. Me personally, I've never ever walked out of a Villa game early. I've seen every single one through. That's because my dad's never done it, so I never will. It's just something that's been drilled into me. But I'd never have a go at people for leaving. But it is kind of like you're winning, people walk out, and like sometimes when we lose, you feel like people stay behind just to have a boo. But then when we're winning, those same people maybe don't stay behind to applaud the team off and thank them for their performance. I don't think the atmosphere is what it should be for a team that's on the run we're on. But I would also say, come the end of the season, if we're in this kind of position, I do think the last 3 or 4 home games, when it's, you come into the business end, you come into the big time in the running, I do think the fans will help get us over the line, and they'll come through when we need them.
Do you think they'll bring back the kind of the fireworks and the flames? Lob said it worked once. Do you think that stuff's kind of coming back or not?
I mean, I would maybe for the last home game if you're in a position where you win, you go up, but I wouldn't bring it in for a derby game.
No.
You don't try things like that in a derby game. Remember when Blues tried their stupid clappers?
Yeah.
Like, you don't take risks in trying things off the pitch in a derby game. You just let the fans do the work. You don't need fireworks for that game.
No, not for that game particularly. But if you're looking at another game, say, I don't know, you've got somebody like Barnsley or Bolton or someone there that's not going to get the atmosphere going as much. Maybe you try and inject.
Does a fireworks really get the atmosphere going?
But you said the atmosphere was wicked when.
Well, yeah, because we won 5-0 against Bristol.
But that was before the game
when
started.
The fireworks, no, but we started off terribly. That first 20 minutes again, the atmosphere was dead because we weren't playing well.
Okay.
And to be honest, I've got to be honest, when those fireworks were on at the start, I was taking the mick out of them.
Yeah.
And the people around me were taking.
Yeah, it was the football that changed the game.
The mick out of them. It was the football, and I think you just let it be. I could see why you'd do. I mean, we did it because it was New Year's Day, so fireworks are tied into New Year's Eve and
Fair enough.
New Year's Day. I don't think there's a need for stuff like that. I think sometimes just turn all the pre-match music off and just let the fans do the work. I know you've got to have entrance music and stuff when they're coming through the tunnel, but there used to be a time, it was under John Gregory, Brian Little, where every player had a song, and I know we've made a lame attempt at trying to get songs in, and we'll never bring that back again.
Ben Hopkins is the one that's leading the charge.
Ben Hopkins is going to be really enjoying this when the conversation turns to this. Old Hoppo really enjoys it. But there used to be a time when the fans would go right through every player and sing their song.
Right.
At the moment, our players, like Scott Hogan scores, and it's da-da-da-da, Scotty Hogan. And then someone else did something good later in the game. I can't remember who it was. And the same song, I think it was Snodgrass got substituted, and it was da-da-da-da, Robert Snodgrass. Like, Horahan's got a song, Grealish has got a song. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Needs to be a few more songs for the lads. Adome has got his, but it's just basically the Benteke song.
I can't even remember my Keenan Davis one, but it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. No, that was never getting off the ground.
There was a Party in the USA one.
Yeah, we
as
know
well.
what it was.
That was a different one, but I can't remember who that was for.
Bjarnason, I think. I can't remember. You had a song for someone. Had a
I
song
wouldn't have been for
Bjarnason
Bjarnason because he wasn't playing at that
I want to
point.
just go doing the Smug Corner. I enjoy doing the Smug Corner every week.
Is it about Bjarnason?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, I had my Smug Corner last week about Snodgrass. I think I was being smug about last week.
Yeah.
I had a Hogan one a few weeks ago as well. I specifically remember saying in this podcast a few times that if Berker Bjarnason, he gets a run in the team of starting games, I think he'll show that he's a good player. He just hasn't had that run. And now he has had a run of games. He's looked pretty decent. Although not in a position I would have expected.
Listen, I'm happy to eat that humble pie.
I wasn't a dig at you, Tom.
But it's
Obviously-
very much I'm in that. I'm in
great.
the audience that you're
Obviously
aiming.
great if you get stuff wrong. Fantastic. I wasn't aimed at you.
I mean, it's not a special time, is it?
Now I've got a question for you about Bjarnason.
Okay.
Do you think would you change him on Sunday? Would you change anything on Sunday?
We've actually got a question about that in my notes somewhere.
Go on,
I've got
give the
so
guy-
many notes.
Give the guy the praise who asked the question.
Could be on.
Yeah, that.
David Hunt says, should we go for more physicality for the derby? Davis and Jednak. Berker Bjarnason has been playing well, but we must win the battle before we start playing. Although I would take a nice and easy 5-1, like back in the day. No, I wouldn't change it. I've written here, don't change what's working. I think we can outplay Birmingham, like I kind of said to you earlier. Jednak's an option, but Bjarnason's done nothing wrong to lose a shirt. Are you of a different opinion?
I'm unsure what I'd do. I'd be a terrible manager because I genuinely wouldn't know what to do. This is how bad a manager I'd be because I'm talking about Football Manager. It only comes in every 5 or 6 podcasts.
Yeah.
I can't be Villa on Football Manager.
All right.
Because the players that are there, I never want to sell them. And I never want to drop people. So
Yeah.
I can't even manage Villa on a computer game. So I'd be useless
Yeah.
in real life. I think Bruce is going to be tempted to play Jedinak. He's the kind of right player for that game. And I have always said, don't change a winning team. But then I've contradicted myself and also
Several
said
times.
you should sometimes pick teams based on the game that you're playing.
Yep.
And I do think the game is suited for Jedinak more than Bjarnason. If I'm being honest, I've said play Bjarnason in the games like Burton in that role, but I'd be tempted to play Jedinak, to be honest. And to be honest, if you do play him, probably get injured after 15 minutes and Bjarnason would be on anyway.
Yeah.
But I'd be tempted to play Jedinak. That would be the only change I'd be thinking about making.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Oh, that's a lie, actually, what I've just said. Because obviously Al Mohammadi struggled against a tricky winger. Blues have got Magoma on the left who can cause a few problems. And Twanzebe's a better defender, probably.
Again.
And maybe I'd be tempted to do that as well, the way those two came, because Twanzebe came on at right back.
Yeah, Dan Southall said, would you start Twanzebe at right back? Who'd be a vast improvement, even though it's harsh on El Mohammadi. But how would it affect Snodgrass as well?
That's what you've got to worry about, because they've got a good relationship down the right-hand side, Snodgrass and El Mohammadi. They know each other's games.
Do you think it was one bad day at the office for El Mohammadi?
I've not seen him have a game like that. I know.
Because we talked about at the start of the season, didn't we, about how he would play well 2 or 3 times and then have a bit of an anonymous game.
I mean, he didn't have an anonymous game.
Yeah, well, that's true. Which he had, yeah.
Maybe I could say that own goal was anonymous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably keep Elmo in, if I'm being honest. And I'd be harshly, I'd probably put Jedinak in for Bjarnason. But that would be very harsh.
Yeah. It's tough, isn't it? If you're 6 on the bounce and Bjarnason has been a key figure in that, really.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. But it's also about changing players up. I mean, they've got 7 days. Well, they've had 7 days.
Just looking at my eyes on the camera, I look like a panda.
Why?
Because I'm so tired.
What's wrong?
I was up very early this morning for a PT session in my new regime.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
You're doing well.
Doing well, yeah.
Feeling strong.
Well, I'm not feeling strong now. I'm feeling really tired, but
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
I'm quite tired. It was Super Bowl Sunday, so it was a very late night.
You had to
Very
get the
early night.
NFL, and you say I always bring it up, and I don't.
There was a question about
At
that.
least it's over now.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Lyngby Bold Club? Or Bold Club, I think it might be pronounced.
I'd love to talk about them. I can't say my knowledge on them is too great,
Don't know much about
other than the news today.
So Kev J. Gherkin Keg, I believe his name is.
Yeah. Presume Kev J is a nickname, and his real name is Gherkin Kev.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Villa reportedly interested in investing in a Danish club who are in a lot of financial difficulty. Dan, former Villa player Marcus Olbach used to play for
Did he?
Bold Club. Yeah,
He's got a few important goals in a relegation running.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I've heard different things about this. They're in financial difficulty. Sky Sports were reporting earlier that actually Villa aren't interested in putting in any money. They're just offering expert advice, which to me, if you're in financial difficulty, isn't really what you want, is it?
No, they'd rather have some money, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
What are we what financial advice are we offering?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have no idea.
I saw that we were just looking to get involved with them, put some money in and link up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so the system, as I understand it, would be that they'd be a bit of a feeder club. Young Villa players could go and get some league football potentially. Brentford have a similar deal with FC Midtjylland, who Man U played a couple of years ago, maybe in the
They've
Europa
got a
League.
well-known youth system.
Right.
I'm not going to try and say the name as well as you did, but they've got a good youth
I
system.
googled it earlier.
I still couldn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Clever.
Keith Winus, in an interview last month, I think it was, said it could be any time soon that we dabble into foreign markets. It's not Premier League dependent. We already have contracts and advanced negotiations on a number of areas, but absolutely nothing concrete just yet.
I imagine we're waiting until we go up to be getting involved in these kinds
Well,
of
he
things.
just said it's not Premier League dependent. So it doesn't affect financial fair play as far as
No,
I'm
but you'd think we're
aware.
waiting to get our house in order.
Yeah. It's one of those. So we've been asked a couple of times, is this... We don't know, honestly.
I know nothing.
Jon Snow. It was... yeah, we'll wait and see whether it goes anywhere, whether it's a bit of paper talk. But it does seem to be a little bit further than just paper
Is your
talk.
dad called Kevin?
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
Oh, Kev J. Is that your dad asked that question?
No,
Are
we
you sure?
talked about all this last week.
I don't recall that.
It was a fever dream. Yeah, so we'll wait and see on that one, essentially. We don't know the answer. We don't know what benefits it's going to be, what Villa are putting in, but it doesn't affect financial fair play. So that's key.
The only knowledge I would have is from Football Manager, and I don't want to drag that up again. So, yeah.
Please don't.
Watch this space.
One guy that we do know a little bit more about is Ross McCormack. He is.
I don't know much about him.
He's back in the UK. You know that much. After his spell with Melbourne.
Family time he's having at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a couple of
Is
weeks.
family time over yet? Has it been 2 weeks? He said he
don't-
was going to get 2 weeks off, didn't he?
Don't think it's been 2 weeks yet. Steve Bruce said that he will assess McCormack when he's back in training, but you know it's a long way back for Ross McCormack. He scored 14 and 17, but he's sitting behind Hogan, Graben, Davis, and Agbonlahor at the moment. Do you see him getting
Probably
anywhere?
Hepburn Murphy as well,
And
I
Hepburn
suggest.
Murphy, yeah. Do you see him getting anywhere near the first team?
Not unless we were to be decimated by injuries.
Yeah.
I think he's burnt his bridges. I don't know that. I presume he's burnt his bridges, otherwise he wouldn't have been sent out to Melbourne in the first place.
The way Steve Bruce was talking, he even said stuff like, I wouldn't cut my nose to spite my face, even though sometimes I want to do it. Like, he's been quite...
From the same nose club as me. Steve.
he was being quite overt about how McCormack had obviously done damage in the past and it would be a long way back. It's a shame, because I think Melbourne wanted to keep him, but they couldn't agree appropriate fee for him. And now he's just going to kind of sit there and not really do anything.
No, I didn't like one of the interviews that was done with him while he was out there, where he said, I mean, I get everyone puts the family first, I suppose, but he basically just said, well, if the worst happens, I'm on a big contract here, I'm getting paid X amount of money for another 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I've got to look after my family.
Yeah, I mean, the sentiment's right. It's just not the way.
It's not what a football fan wants to hear.
No.
No.
James Waring says, he says, should he be given an opportunity?
I don't see where you'd play him.
Yeah, well, up front, presumably.
But how? He's not
Yeah,
playing. He's
no,
not
I
playing
agree.
his own, is he?
Yeah.
He's not a lone striker, and this new formation has worked perfectly.
Well, he's just got so many players in front of him. It'd be interesting to see him at training.
You think if he was going to get another chance, we wouldn't have signed Graben?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You would have thought.
Yeah.
Because we were going into the start of the season effectively without McCormack, so we thought we'd have Codger back, so Graben's a replacement for Codger in some ways. For this second half of the season, like I say, you wouldn't have bought Graben if you were planning to use McCormack, I don't think.
What's his contract situation? Has he still got another year?
2.5 years left.
2.5
I think.
years.
I think he got a 4-year deal. I could be wrong in that.
Yeah, so I mean, sitting in the reserves or even under 23s for the next 4 months is not ideal, is it? For him or for the club?
Be
Really?
gone in the summer, I would imagine. But we won't be getting any. I don't think we'll be lucky if we get a fee.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. Well,
but we probably need to get his wages off the book, or want to get his wages off the book. Well, you want to get anyone's wages off the book that's not playing.
Yeah.
Who's on big wages.
Absolutely, and he will be too. One guy that is playing and is also on big wages, John Terry, has been in the papers.
Justifying those big wages, though.
Yeah.
Big J2.
Yeah, he's been in the papers again, linked with Chelsea again. This time as manager. He's on the short one. I don't think he's on the short list. He's on a list to be the next manager of Chelsea. 40-1. How much money are you putting on that, Dan?
I'm not going to put anything on. Wouldn't surprise me to see him on the coaching team next season, though, depending on who got the Chelsea job.
Really? Yeah.
Well, if we go up, he's not going to be with us. If we don't go up, I could see him playing another year here.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. But yeah, he'll retire if we go up, I would have thought.
I'm just going to chuck my notes on the floor.
Yep.
There, Luis.
Best place for them.
Luis Enrique, the current Barca coach, is evens. Carlo
He's
Ancelotti.
not Barca coach anymore, is he, Enrique?
Former.
You said current.
Did I?
Yeah.
I meant former.
Slip of the tongue.
Yeah. And Carlo.
We'll allow it.
Thank you. I mean, you didn't allow it. Carlo Ancelotti. Oh my goodness. Carlo Ancelotti 3-1. Who would you pick?
Ancelotti's a great man. He swore then. Ancelotti's a great manager.
I agree. Although I was speaking to Chelsea fans. Was it Chelsea fans? Somebody who was saying that he hadn't done as much as maybe some people would. You'd be quick to sing wax lyrical. Oh my goodness.
He did win the double there at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then got sacked the next season, I believe, because they finished second.
But he struggled at Bayern.
That can happen sometimes, though. But you look at what he did at Milan.
PSG.
Did decent. He won the Champions League with Real Madrid as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, no, or did Zidane do it? I'm pretty sure Ancelotti won the Champions League with Real Madrid. He's a great manager, Ancelotti, but I don't think see him going back to Chelsea when he's been fired by Abramovich in the past. I think Simeone might leave Atletico Madrid at the end of the season.
He said he wouldn't.
Oh, has he?
I mean, paper talk, he said he wouldn't. I haven't spoken to him personally yet about it.
He'd be the one that I would suggest Chelsea may look at. I'd say Ancelotti's more likely at Arsenal, but Arsene Wenger's probably going to go on till he's 100 at Arsenal and decides he wants to leave. So
Simeone would be crazy in the Premier League.
It'd be great, though.
Trevor Hood says John Terry's future, while we're talking about him, he doesn't want to play against Chelsea, but if we didn't go up, would he stay? What's the likely situation?
I think we'd get another year out of him if we didn't go up.
But
probably as a player coach.
Yeah.
But he can still play. That's the thing. I don't know what he would be like in a year, but at the moment he's still performing to a very, very high standard in the Championship.
Do you think there's any way that he'd change his mind about playing in the Premier League against Chelsea? Like he looks like he's loving his time at Villa.
Yeah, he was a bit slow to get into it. That sounds a bit more critical than I mean it to.
Yeah.
But now you can see he really loves it, is what I mean.
Yeah. We talked about that, didn't we? About how it takes a little bit of time, and he's such an influential character that he's got to assert himself in the right way. But he seems to have done that now.
Yeah.
No, we'll see.
Maybe he could have his mind change and just not play against Chelsea, but that would be unprecedented.
That would be weird. I wouldn't like that.
No, but you'd imagine if we were in the Premier, he wouldn't play every week anyway.
Again, this feels like we're going back to the Chelsea talk, and not playing just against Chelsea seems like a stupid move to me.
I'd as a professional footballer, ideally I wouldn't like to play against Villa.
But you're contracted to the team, so you play. I think you should play all the time. And Chelsea would be one of our toughest games.
I'd score own goals.
That would be cutting your nose to spite your face.
I don't think I could play against Villa, and he probably feels the same against Chelsea. I genuinely don't think I could do it. Just like I don't think I could ever work for Birmingham City in any capacity.
I think that's different.
Birmingham City came to me and said, "We're going to give you a media job with us. We're going to pay you more than what you're on.
We're going to pay you 60 grand a week.
Job." Mark, I don't think I could. Mate, I couldn't do it. Honestly, I'm not joking here. I don't think I could work for Birmingham. I genuinely don't think I could do it.
Wow.
Let us know in the comments if you were offered John Terry's salary to work for Birmingham, would you do it? Because I don't think I could do it. As much as I'd like that money, it's a little bit more than what I'm on now.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think I could bring myself to do it. Or if I did do it, I'd just perform really badly.
Makes me sound very much like a mercenary.
No,
doesn't it?
Yeah, you do it.
Oh, for 60 grand a week, you got to put your family first, mate. I'm on Ross McCormack's wavelength there. I don't know.
No, I couldn't do it.
For 60 grand a week. Yes, I think
I'm going to massively dig my dad out here. Massively, he's going to be really unhappy with this. I'm going to do it anyway.
Look how happy you are.
He used to go and watch Blues games because his dad didn't like football, so he had no way of getting to the football. So he used to go and watch Blues games with his uncle.
And then
Even though he supported Villa, he used to go and watch Blues just so he could watch football.
what made him support Villa then? Like, was he going to Villa as well?
He did it when he was old enough to take himself. He went to Villa immediately.
But why didn't he? Why was he? Why didn't he get into the Blues? Like, I don't understand that.
Because I think he'd already decided that he supported Villa.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank God. Thank
yeah.
God.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here now.
Although I've got a mate that he supports Villa, Ashley Lockyer, my friend, and his dad supports Birmingham City, and Ash pays for his dad's season ticket at Blues.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird situation, though.
Yeah.
Because obviously I go to the football with my dad every week. Can't imagine. See you, Dad, off you go to St Andrews.
Yeah,
I'm going to go to Villa Park, the home of football. You going to slum it at St Andrews.
Yeah.
Again, sitting next to empty chairs.
Why did he pick Villa?
Because I think his cousin supported Villa, so he went
Right.
with his cousin rather than his dad. I think he admired his cousin. I'm sure he admired
Didn't
his dad.
admire
as well.
his dad,
Didn't
wow.
admire his dad's choice in football team.
Yeah. Ashlock here, if you're oh goodness, if you're listening,
You know
please-
Ashley played with us.
Yeah. But if you're listening, please let us know why you chose Villa.
That's the reason. It's his cousin.
Oh right, okay.
His cousin showed him the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let us know in the comments whether you could work for Birmingham City for big money, because I genuinely don't think I would do it.
Or if you've
Andrew'd kill me. I'd be getting divorced for sure.
because you turned it down.
I turned down big money to make our life better. But
Or if you chose Villa over another team, and just some interesting family stories where the family rivalries are, that kind of thing.
yeah, I
All
like
of
that. I
kind of
like
stuff.
that kind of jazz.
Yeah, that'd be wicked. Yeah, send those in. Where are we? Monkey Boy. Which competitor are you most concerned about? For Monkey Boy, it's Fulham. I've written here, don't sleep on Derby, because they're starting to pick up again.
And I think Cardiff.
Yeah.
So 3 different answers.
So 2nd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, nailed on.
Yeah.
Nailed on. We never get anything wrong here at the Villa View podcast.
I mean, they're going to be tricky games. I mean, Fulham are great, but they're all tough.
Yeah.
Nobody can slip up really at this point.
If me, you, and Monkey Boy think that's what's gonna happen. We don't get anything wrong. That's why I'm apologising to Sam Johnson on Twitter every week.
Yeah. Flip flop. We'll go back to the Birmingham game for a second. Dan,
I wanted to talk about this. This is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he says that you mentioned Gabby Agbonlahor being in the squad on Sunday, but does he deserve to be? I've literally just written no.
Good research into that, Tom. With that answer, just no. No reasoning behind it.
Well,
no.
I've got reasoning, but I don't need to write it all down.
Okay. I'd have him on the bench, and he will be on the bench.
Yeah,
I think so.
I agree with your logic. I
You look at-
don't think it's justified.
But it is for that game because he always delivers in that game.
Magic.
It's a game, like I say, you picking teams and squads for games, you'd have him in the 18 because you know if the game's like going like it was last season, 0-0 on an hour, you know he'll come on and there's just something about him. He's like Jimmy Grimble. He puts the boots on, doesn't he? comes on the pitch and something changes. He digs out those old boots and he'll probably score if he comes on. I want to see Grealish score though against Blues and fulfil his childhood ambition. That's what I want to see. But Gabby will be in the 18, and I'd put him in the 18, whether you like him or not. I think most Villa fans would have him in the 18 on Sunday.
When was the last time we saw him play?
It's a long.
Was
Brentford, I think.
months.
Brentford at home in September. Early September.
It seems like an odd decision. It seems like an impassioned decision, and I don't know whether Steve Bruce is going to do that or not.
But he doesn't Bruce all. I mean, he hasn't said it yet this week. Obviously, got other things going on.
Yeah.
He says Gabby's at training early. When it's Derby week, it must be Derby week. Gabby's at training early, working hard. I mean, he should be doing that all the time. To be honest, should want to play all the time. But
Yeah. Especially when you
whatever you think of him, I'd have him in the 18, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, you look at our bench as well. Last game, we had Whelan, Jedinak, Antoine Zebu could all play as a defensive midfielder. You could lose probably Whelan off that bench, bearing in mind if we keep the same team and have Gabby on there. It's another attacking option, if anything, and they are scared of him. And he does galvanise himself for that game and do the business. So, yeah, I'd 100% pick him.
Another squad selection dilemma. Mark Connolly says, "What's happened to Henry Lansbury?" It's just the team seems to be playing too well.
He's been in the matchday squads, but he's another one that can't stay fit. Every time he comes in for a game, I mean, he scored against Leeds, came in for a game, then he's been injured. Just gets injured all the time.
Yeah.
It's not worked out for Lansbury so far. There's still time for it too, and there's still time for him to come in and make an impact at some stage in this season and maybe do something important. That's the thing about having a squad. People who are out of it at the moment, at some stage, are going to get a chance to do something that could be important and help our season. So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, of course.
Lansbury not getting on the bench.
Yeah, this is kind of why we were talking last week about Graben coming in. It's nice to have competition. It's good that people are hungry, that they want to play. Do you see Lansbury being a fixture next season?
Well, not in the Premier League, I wouldn't have thought. Mm-hmm. If we're in the Championship, then I think most of the squad that are there permanently will feature. Mm. But you can't really speculate, can you?
You can't. You cannot. Mark Bannister. This is a fun little question. To guarantee a Villa win on Sunday, would you fight to the death with 10 duck-sized tigers or 1 tiger-sized duck? I meant to say that to the end, but I've got lost in my notes.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go the same as you.
You've got to take the giant duck.
Take the giant duck.
That's not scary at all.
No, he can't. I suppose he could bite you.
But it's not going to move very well. It's not very agile, a duck.
No, he can't punch you or anything like that.
Actually, having said that, if it starts flapping, it gets quite aggressive, ducks.
I don't know. I've never had any run-ins with ducks.
Tigers are horrible. Tigers eat their own young.
Let's move off this.
Yeah, you don't like that?
It's a quacking question, though.
Oh, my goodness me.
Sorry.
Right, let's talk a little bit about the England squad for a second. Because
we jumped into the England podcast all of a sudden.
Well, no, this is Villa related. So last, when you were away, when Chris Dolan nobly stepped in, Villa Mad accused me of not reading out his question, man. Actually, we did.
You've been accused of that a few times.
I know, but this is...
Villa Mad can say that I'm not really in charge of the questions that get asked here.
Oh, you are? You got your phone. This is redemption, though, because he told me that I'd never read it out, and then he accused me of laughing at him. So he said, should Grealish be in...
You can't have it both ways, Villa Mad through.
Exactly. Should Jack Grealish be in the England squad? And now I said no. Well, I said that he was playing well enough to, but Gareth Southgate was never going to look as to the Championship, especially for his attacking midfielders.
Right, Dele Alli's there, isn't he? He's nailed on for that 10 role, I would have thought.
Villa Mad's reached out to you and wants your opinion as well. Do you think he's getting in the England squad for Russia?
I don't think he is.
No.
I don't think it's a ludicrous shout. And if you look back to World Cup '98, Paul Merson was playing very well in the Championship for Middlesbrough. I know it's a different time. And he was in the World Cup squad. So it's not...
But he was established at that point.
Yeah, that's true. But suddenly if we've got a load of injuries... We're not blessed with a load of English number 10 creative players. I don't think it's not going to happen. I mean, he's obviously worked very hard in his game this season, and he actually said that England under 21s when he went to the tournament last year and didn't play a single minute. That was one of the things that made him look at himself and think, I need to do more.
All right.
So he's been very open and honest about that, and he's come in flying over this last couple of months for us. To be fair, he'd have to. I mean, I think he's playing very, very well, and everyone knows I love him. But he'd have to do something absolutely exceptional to get on that plane. Well,
in the same vein, Nathaniel asks, Sam Johnson, should he be considered for the third choice for England? He's got reflexes De Gea-esque. Again, don't disagree that he's playing brilliantly, but there's no chance. For me, there's no chance that he gets in the England squad without 5 other England keepers getting injured.
No, I mean, with Southgate's mantra, if you will, he said about if people weren't playing, they shouldn't get in, they won't be in the England squad, so Wilshere didn't get picked while he wasn't playing. Yeah. Joe Hart is not playing.
I've heard...
And Joe Hart is massively on the decline. I wouldn't have had him as number 1 in the last tournament because I think he cost us a few goals.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see Joe Hart starting, but he would definitely be on the plane.
I wouldn't have him on the plane. There's 3 better keepers.
There are so many England managers who have said, I'm only playing players if they start, and they all fall away. I'm sure Wayne Rooney's been picked when he's not playing. Dave Beckham. There's been a range of influential players.
I just said what I've said about there's better keepers there. I'm just thinking... I don't think Butland's having his best season. I'm not 100% sure he's ready to be number 1. I think Tom Heaton's a very good goalkeeper at Burnley, but he's been injured all season. And to be fair, Nick Pope's come in and done very well for Burnley, and he's English.
Pickford?
Pickford, I don't think's had the best season either, although I don't think he's been helped by terrible Everton defence, to be fair. Even Allardyce is struggling to sort them out. Yeah. And he's one of the most defensive managers going. So you'd say if Heaton's fit, Heaton, Butland and Pickford should all go ahead of Hart. But Johnson, if he does play in the Prem next season, he won't be a million miles away from the squad. Hopefully he's with us.
Yeah. No,
He's a good keeper.
I think that's exactly right. If we get into the Premier League, then these players will have a shop window.
Suddenly starting to worry about England in the summer now. Who's going to be in goal? I don't want Joe Hart in goal. That's a fact.
I wouldn't worry about it just yet. You've got enough to be worrying about, Dan, so don't worry about that. Tom Hunter, Premier League and Championship sides to get relegated. Did you see this one?
No.
So let's start with the Championship sides that you think might go down this year. Do you want the league table?
Yeah, please. I'm hoping you're going to have the Prem table in front of you as well.
I don't have the Prem table.
I'm a pure Championship man nowadays.
Oh, okay, well, I've
not really.
got a couple of... Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go on.
I'm going with Burton and Sunderland, who are currently bottom and second bottom, and then Barnsley as well to slip in,
I was going to put
unfortunately.
Barnsley. I'm going to go Barnsley, Sunderland, and... I don't want to pick Burton because they got out of it last year. I'm going to go Hull.
Yeah?
Yeah, Burton to get out of it, and 21st, 22nd, and 23rd currently to go down.
And I've also got in the Premier League, I've got the bottom three that are the bottom three right now, which is West Brom, Huddersfield and Stoke. I wouldn't mind those three going down. It would make it quite a nice Premier League next year if Wolves and Villa went up, and then, I don't know, Fulham.
Can you pad this out a little bit while I get the Premier League table up?
I must admit I'm trying. Yeah, I think Huddersfield started really nicely, but they've been found out a little bit, haven't they?
They have fallen away.
Yeah.
I did actually say to I think this was with my dad, I had a conversation of who I thought was going to go. Baggies, at the moment, are looking like they're going to go.
Yeah.
I think Stoke will get out of it. I think Swansea are going to get out of it. I'd probably say, I think Newcastle, I called Newcastle going down at the start of the season and Benitez walking, and Benitez hasn't walked. But I think they're in trouble.
It's so
they haven't
close.
got enough goals in their team.
Up until 12th, you're only 3 points away from relegation.
I'll go West Brom, Huddersfield and Newcastle.
West Brom, Huddersfield and Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay. And Stoke to survive once again.
Paul Lambert's the relegation escapist.
Luke Redding, which Premier League ground do you miss?
I used to like a cheeky trip to the Emirates, and the Villa fans embarrassing the Arsenal fans by showing them some atmosphere in the away end. And I've also seen us win there, which is a rare occurrence for me away from home. Probably the Emirates. I used to like going there. That's probably my favourite ground, actually, Fulham. I love Fulham away.
Do you? Yeah.
It's just the stuff, the places around. It's good places to go. Putney's nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pubs to go to. I'm looking forward to going there in a couple of weeks. So that's probably my favourite away day because it's very near to me as well.
Yeah.
You're probably Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Fair enough. Well, Anfield is a great stadium.
I wasn't impressed with Anfield when I went there.
I have also put down, I've changed the question slightly.
Huh.
I'm looking forward to going to Spurs' new ground.
Oh yeah, that'll be
next
good.
year.
Let's get there first, though.
Yeah, exactly. Don't count your chickens before that. I think Luke Redding also said Anfield as well. Oms put a decent question up on Twitter, as he often does.
Well done, Oms.
Considering how much Cyril Regis did for black players in football, was the all-time 11 of Black Villa players. Have you seen this?
I did see the question. I've not done an 11.
All right, so you can tear mine apart. David James in goal. Kyle Walker, which I stole from Oms because I was struggling. I mean,
You're struggling for a right back. I think Earl Barrett probably gets in there above Kyle Walker.
Hugo Ekiog and Paul McGrath, centre backs, with J. Lloyd Samuel at left back.
J. Lloyd Samuel at left back's got to go out for Wilfred Boomer immediately.
Because I was doing mine and then Oms did his and he had Boomer in. And
I've also got to severely question the spelling of Ekiog.
Yeah, I didn't have a.
Okay.
I was just doing it. Tony Daly, Ian Taylor, George Boateng and Ashley Young across the midfield. And then Dwight York and Dion Dublin, who are two of my heroes kind of at the start of my footballing
it's decent
love. Special mentions to Julian Joachim, Christian Benteke, Wilfred Baumer and Regis himself, but obviously didn't see him.
No Gabba?
No.
Our record Premier League goal scorer, Tom.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
There's a couple of others there that I couldn't put on. I can't remember who they are off the top of my head now. But yeah.
Okay, decent.
So you change him, you put in Wilfred Baumer in there.
Boomer in for Samuel for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of it's pretty decent, to be fair to you. Interesting. I'm supposed to be working with Tony Daly on Sunday at the game.
Oh, there you
Pre-game. I don't want to say too much about it in case it doesn't happen. I always worry these things will fall through. But
well, let him know.
I'm supposed to be working with Tona. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to look muscly next to him. He's absolutely built.
Right, Luke Hatfield's got a question. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ask it or not.
I'd say now NFL season's over. I'm hoping this is going to be the end of NFL for a while.
This isn't me. This
I
isn't
know
me.
it's not you, but you've put it. I bet not all the questions that have been asked are on your list.
You can start checking because I'm running out of questions.
Okay.
We'll go with this other question then. What's your best non-goal/non-trophy moment for Villa?
Non-goal, non-trophy.
So you know how you remember the great goals and you remember the the trophies. What's a moment at Villa Park or with the Villa? I've gone with Stan Petrov's standing ovation after he was diagnosed with
that's a good
leukemia.
one.
Like I thought that was really.
I actually liked the whole 19th minute applause thing
Yeah.
through that whole couple of seasons, or was it? I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 seasons we did it for. I suppose favourite non-goal trophy moments are going to be personal things that I've done over the last few years, but I don't want to harp on about them too much. People are already probably fed up with that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Pat Tolley, if you had the choice, would you kick towards the whole end first or second half?
Yeah, because we've changed. We won the toss on Saturday and faced the whole end first.
Kev J asked about this.
Yeah, I
as well.
think if we win the toss, I think John Terry will probably be inclined to do it again. But I'd rather do the whole in the second half.
Yeah, I've put that
That's
as well.
tradition to me.
Yeah. And the last one I've got here is Gary Eaton. Financial fair play not allowing us to re-sign Hutton. Does he deserve a new deal? And does this highlight an issue for us should we fail to secure promotion? I don't really think it highlights an issue because I think everybody at the club has been kind of aware of financial fair play and how important parachute payments are, and it's obviously the last year. Belts have to be tightened next year if we don't go up. I think that's part of the plan with the senior leadership there. Hutton probably does deserve a new deal, but he's a very expensive asset.
If you were just basing it on performances, which we're not,
Yeah,
he deserves a new contract. But the guy will be 34 next season. I think we couldn't possibly pay him the same money that he's on now. If we're in the Prem, is he going to play the required amount of games? And even in the Championship, will he play the amount of games you'd want him to? I think I'd want him around in the Championship, but we can't guarantee where we'll be. So he'll want to look for a longer deal somewhere else. Doing the Facebook with Ian Taylor, I asked him about this, and he agreed. He thought it was harsh, but he thought it was the right call. It's a bit of a cutthroat decision, but we're not in a position to be able to offer him a contract, so he needs to get his family security sorted out. I mean, family seems to have been the theme of this show.
Yeah,
he needs
it's
to
a family show.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him though. I do feel sorry for him, but the good thing is it hasn't affected his performances.
Yeah, that's to his
and
credit.
It won't affect his attitude and his performances.
Absolutely. Should we go on to some comments?
Yeah.
James Mottershead says, we're not getting promoted without Jack Grealish, simple as. Lucky we have him.
Well, let's hope we're not without him at any stage.
Absolutely. He's running the show right now. AVFC 85 says, that lad is right about the refs. Shocking in the Championship compared to the Prem.
He was very excited, that kid.
Yeah.
Out on fan cams, yeah. He was very lively.
Although
the more he was shouting, the more he was moving away from the microphone, like I just did. So it was difficult for me doing the fan cams.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky, mate.
No worries.
76 AVJD. Good points, mate. I feel like I've said that before. I thought Bjarnason and Grealish were my standouts today. After a shaky start, Bjarnason kept it simple and seems to read the game better playing defensive midfield. Grealish is mentally stronger than before, which we've talked about a lot here. He keeps running, probing, creating chances, gets tackled, gets up and goes again. Much improved. That's a great comment.
I think I'd probably give Bjarnason man of the match on Saturday.
And you're going to take him out for the derby?
That's football, mate. Cutthroat.
Wow. This guy. John Kearney, oi, from Australia. Go the mighty Villa. 6 on 6. Brilliant job.
Are you trying to put in a little twang of an Australian accent whilst you're reading this?
Oi, from Australia.
It felt like you were.
No, I wasn't,
Okay.
but now I'm tempted. Worried about Birmingham and have been for 2 weeks. Villa especially need their A game for this match. Anything else will mean a loss. Fingers crossed Villa can get it done against the Blues. It's imperative we stay in the hunt and chase down Wolves. Up the mighty Villa.
Ambitious with the chasing Wolves. Good ambition, though.
Got to keep chasing.
Yep.
Charlie Jennings has 3 points.
I like the way he's put in the hashtag there to try and make this a trending thing that he does every week.
Charlie's 3 points is trending right now on this show. A win is a win win no matter what. 3 points is 3 points. Performance or no performance, we achieved our objective. Don't moan.
He likes repeating what he was saying, didn't he? All 3 bits.
Goodness me. Number 2, yet again, stadium half empty at full time. Why were people leaving after Burton scored their second? Do people not want to see if we win? You mentioned that earlier. And 3, Snodgrass, Grealish, Hourihane, Hogan, all a cut above. The passing and movement and sense of freedom about them is so refreshing to see.
Yeah.
I like those 3 points.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do another one next week.
Yeah.
Charlie's 3 points.
AVFC legend, Birmingham City, we're coming for you in caps.
I don't like that chant. I'm saying about winning some other chants, and then I don't like that chant.
And Max Roberts says going.
To the game.
Oh, going up.
Oh,
maybe.
Going up.
Yeah. Good use of emojis there. 76 AVJD is back again. This must be a different video, do we assume? Hutton this season
I don't think we've done anything, so there's either fan cams or preview.
Oh, yeah. Hutton this season has been very consistent, works hard and always conducted himself well. He deserves to have another 12 months at least. Without him filling in at a left back, we would have been stuffed. Eyes wide shut has a different opinion.
I don't think we'd have been stuffed.
Yeah, Neil Taylor is a solid.
He had lost form, Neil Taylor, though, to be fair, and we have done better when Hutton's played left back.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll never know, will we? Because
No.
Taylor might have rejuvenated in January like the rest of the team. Granted, Hutton puts in the effort and has heart. He has to be commended for that, especially when others have not. But Hutton has limited ability. Also, him being at the club will stop others Bree coming through, sorry.
Well, he's not stopping Bree coming through at the moment because he's playing left back.
If we get promoted, he is nowhere near Prem quality. It's time for him to go. Concerning left back, that's Bruce. Getting in one-dimensional Taylor and letting Amervi go, we have been lucky Hutton has stepped up.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. Adam Mullins, I completely agree that Fulham is the hardest game this season. We've played away to everyone else in the top half of the table, bar Ipswich. We need to keep on performing, but we only have 4 games left against those in playoff positions or higher. 3 are at home. Keep the fortress strong, and we are easily in the auto-promotion spot.
Good stuff. Let's end on that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't want to end
Why
on...
not?
And, okay. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Good times. I think we're done. We've been an
Oh,
hour.
blimey.
But now that hour, I've got to say the first half an hour in particular absolutely flew by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Very well done, Thomas.
And to you, Daniel.
It's going to be a shame that we're probably not going to be doing a podcast together in the month of March.
No.
No.
Almost certainly not.
Yeah, Tom's got a big trip to New Zealand coming up. I'm away the first week of March as well with work, unfortunately. So there's going to be a problem. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll sort something out, rest assured.
Yeah, we'll work it.
Villa View news quickly before we go. We have, at the moment, all things being well, got an interview with ex-AVFC alumni next Friday at Villa Park. So when that's all in the can and we've done it, we'll bring you the news of who it is, because we don't like to announce these things just in case they don't happen. But fingers crossed it does happen, because it looks like it should be a good one. Fan cams will be after the game on Sunday. I think Matt Lynch is going to that game as well, so he might make an appearance on fan cams, but either me or Max will be doing that after the game. There'll also be a match preview on either Friday or Saturday whenever we shoot that, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Hope you've enjoyed the podcast. If you could leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, that helps the podcast and the Villa View grow. Leave us your comments below on YouTube if you've watched the podcast on YouTube. I'd like the answer to the question about Birmingham City. I'm really interested to see what people's responses are to that. Are you loyal to the Villa's cause like me, or are you an absolute mercenary joke like Tom Sanchez on my right-hand side here? Thanks for all the support you give us, the podcast and the channel in general. Best wishes to the Bruce family. Again, we're really, really sorry for your loss. Here's the 3 points for Villa on Sunday. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.